Here's Hargreaves, chance for Torquay. Chris Hargreaves, the captain. If he stays onside, Carlisle checks instead. He's looking for Benyon. Sills.
Hello and welcome to part two. We've cheered up in the break because we talked about Chris's pies and my quick fit hat that I got given. Long story.
Chicken and mushroom pie tonight, lads.
We should do the pie or quiche quiz, shouldn't we? Got to do it.
I can have my own segment. What pie of the week?
It's what the people want.
So, Kelly's corner.
Over to me.
Yeah, over to you.
Well, he's
waiting for that jingle, Sam.
Yeah, there was a pause there, wasn't there?
I'll get it next summer probably when the season's done. So we've turned it back over to the Yellow Army this week. We couldn't think of anything good to ask you guys, so we've asked you for your questions to us. Thank you to everyone who contributed this week. I think there's about 5 or 6 who came back to us today, so thank you very much. We start with Paul Dennis. Okay, Pete Johnson, head of recruitment. Is he a waste of space, yes or no? I mean, why was he sat in our dugout at Hemel Hempstead, a bit late to scout their players during the game? Do we only sign players on the basis of their YouTube clips? Pete Johnson, waste of space, yes or no, lads?
I mean, it was very nice to me at the Sponsors Day. I know.
Well, that's why you've been nice about Ryan Hansen. We should have stopped you going to that.
No, I don't know. Right, no. So, yeah. Well, I mean, recruitment's not working, is it? That's the point. Like, it's just not worked in the last 2 years. That's the problem.
If he wasn't Gary's brother, would he still be in the job? Maybe not. I don't know. It's not been a good 2 years.
I don't doubt it wouldn't be. Is there? But is there just him? Is he the? Who has the final say? Who's responsible for it?
Is he the problem?
Does Gary overtrust him?
That's the thing. Should there just be a scouting networking philosophy for him to go to, or is it literally just he finds players and then we go from there? Because I mean, from what I can work out, he's very London based.
Yes, he is London.
So naturally that helps with scouting games in London that he goes to.
But
we need players in the south.
I bumped into him a few times, I think, at Hampton and Richmond when I was doing my volunteering there. He would be there in his little Torquay jacket. So I don't know.
Games. It's not saying he don't work hard, but does it work for us getting players from London? I don't know. I mean, there aren't loads and loads of options, but
it's not an easy gig. It's not. I mean, it's not the easiest job in the world because you've got to persuade people to come. He'll probably have a lot of players. He'll say these are good, but will they actually come down? Is the task that Gary has to fulfil, isn't it? So I think he's got loads that come through. But it's not been a good couple of years for him at all, is it? To be honest.
Is it cheaper having him as head of recruitment, or is it more expensive?
Possibly, I don't know. I mean, this is the thing. Like, he doesn't sign. I'm going to stick this. Terrible players. Just the players don't mould, or I don't know. That's So this is a thing. You can't split in the brothers up, aren't you? It's either you're signing not very good players, or you're failing to coach them. So
it's
one
the
of
whole
them,
system, isn't it? Yeah,
so one of the Johnsons. That's a weird statement to say. So one of the Johnsons aren't working properly. That's the thing. Also, as fans, we don't really know that. But these players should be a lot better. Is we aren't coaching them? Or is it they're not adapting? Is it more the mental side of their game, and they need more support to sort of get into the kind of competitive nature of the world and all that? Something's just missing, isn't it? So I don't know. I think you were right there, Chris. I think it's such a difficult job.
Difficult
really.
to judge. We haven't got many people working at the club. Let's be honest. That's the trouble. If one of them's not pulling their weight, and that we feel it throughout the club, don't we? We haven't got hordes of people sorting things out and
should have 2 or 3 people. On the pitch.
Obviously, we've got a manager, we've got a coach, we've got a head of recruitment. There's not a lot else going on, is there? So the pressure is on, and
people to get it right. You got less people. You got to get it right, haven't you?
And it's not been working.
I don't put the blame solely at his door at all. I think it's a very difficult thing. But between them,
Gary must have the final say. Surely he must say, "I've seen this player. Oh, he looks really good. What do you reckon?" And they do their research, their videos, whatever. But ultimately, Gary's the one working with him every day, and he's the one coaching and setting the team up, whatever. So he can't be held totally accountable. I think.
I don't know the account of the whole failings of this club, to be honest. But
We've also had players that he scouted and brought in, probably like Umar and other players that have gone on to better things, and that's down to us to get more out of them, isn't it? I mean, we've lost players and they've gone on to do better things.
Exactly. I mean,
like Lolas. I mean, he's suddenly in the league, isn't he? We didn't get anything out of him at all.
And this is what I'm saying. Like, obviously, under the successful years,
half my sponsorship money
under Gary, like it's just like he was bringing brilliant players. So actually, no, I don't blame Pete Johnson that much at all. I do think the model might need to be changed. Is it the most successful model at the moment? I'm not too sure, but no, he's worked in football for a long time. It could also be a case that time's moved on and they need different types of mentalities and players now. But no, great question though, Paul. Thank you, and thanks for your support as usual.
Thank you. So on to the next one, the Gull'S Sock, who did a fantastic job helping out for us over the weekend on the Twitter updates and the verdict. So thanks, guys, for that. If you could bring in one new player, which position would you choose?
Right back, isn't it? We've done on that. Chris has disappeared. I'm going right back on that. Chris, right. I'm going right back.
Right back or centre back for me.
Dominant centre back.
Centre back.
Dominant centre back for me. You need to.
You can have a really good couple of centre halves, and if fullbacks are just okay, you can still win games.
Yeah, no, fair enough. Fair play. Centre back.
Centre backs cost you more than fullbacks do.
Yeah, that's it.
We don't actually have an
question
right
like that.
Nice, but no, centre back or right back. No. So I'm with you.
Well, we do, but he's crapping out on loan. So
yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
On to Alan Wills. Lovely to see you on Saturday, Alan. He says, does being 2 points off the top after the first 10 games meet your pre-season expectations? Personally, I'm quite happy, as we're 4 points better off than last time, even with the apparent improved quality of opposition.
Good question.
I was sucked into it being a really good start this season because of the friendlies, I guess. I thought we had the continuity, so I probably expected a little bit better than that.
I expected better. My personal.
I think we're saying it's a terrible start, are we? No. But we're just expecting better performances, and
that's the key. That's the point.
And that's the
I think in terms of points,
I
think there are three things I would say to answer that question, which I think is an excellent question in terms of what do people expect. I think the league is tighter than probably a lot of people gave it credit for. A lot of people thought it would be easier Torquay or Yeovil, which I never really bought into.
But is that because Torquay and Yeovil are underperforming at the moment?
Oh, I think so. Yeah, absolutely. So I think it's some of that. I think it's partly we haven't played. The performances are the key. Points wise, Gary talks and any successful team wants 2 points a game. Well, we're 1.9 points a game, aren't we? So we're pretty much onto that. So I think from that points perspective, I think it's okay. But I think from the performances and the kind of
vulnerability,
I guess the vibe that brings, that's a very cool word, wasn't it? Modern word. I just used that. Check me out. The vibe that it brings, the club's not bouncing and happy, is it? Because the performances aren't great. So we need to win a couple of games convincingly to get that vibe going, to get that good feel good about the club, which, brings positivity and hopefully brings more fans in.
I do agree. I think for me, it's very easy at this stage to go, we're points above last time. But how many games did we win? Right, since Johnson came in last time, we.
Sorry, I just feel I just need to interrupt you. Sorry, Sam, to interrupt you. We are recording this on Tuesday evening, and I can just tell you that Torquay have just gone 1-0 up at Ivy Bridge in the Devon Bowl. Goal scorer Ryan Hansen.
Wow. Oh my goodness!
Get in.
What a player.
Hell has well and truly.
See, I told you all. Ivy Bridge on a cold Tuesday in September. I told you who can do it on a cold Tuesday night in Ivy Bridge.
It's like that
Ivy Bridge is a tough game as well.
It's that awful clip of Farage going, "Oh, you all laughed at me, didn't you? But you're not laughing now, are you?
You're not laughing now, are you?"
What league are Ivy Bridge in? Are they playing timber for those kind of teams? Are they? Is that the level? I mean, to be fair, that's Ryan Hansen's sort of level.
They are.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, someone's had to get that dig in there, haven't they?
The low blow.
Well, it is. It just is.
It's very nice to me that sponsors though.
I'm having this moment. You can't.
I feel a new bet. I feel a new bet coming on. Can Ryan Hansen get 5 in the Devon Bowl this season?
He's got to play. He's got half as many as McGavin, so
The funny thing about Hudson is he played 40 games for us, and people forget he actually is alive, to be honest. And he's just the most forgettable player, isn't he? If we didn't talk about him, I think people would just forget him altogether.
He's got to be 80% as a sub, hasn't he? Probably now.
How many games?
He must have played 40 games on now by now. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he's played that many.
I mean, players often
Courtney
make
Richards played over 100, didn't he? So
he was. I always quite like Courtney Richards in fairness, but he's no Ryan Hansen in fairness. But
things are looking up. Ryan Hansen scoring in the Devon Bowl, wonderful.
Right, I
think if for me and Alan, you know from our conversations, I'm quite critical of the management, and I just think I maintain that I think with Gary Johnson in charge, we're going to struggle to get back up, just with his, in my opinion, his methods, the tactics and stuff. But if you'd have said to me before a ball was kicked, Torquay would be 2 points off the top and in the playoffs, you probably would have taken that, wouldn't you? I think I would have done.
Because we're behind Aveley, we're behind Aveley and Taunton as well. So if
you look at the league table, we haven't played many sides in the bottom half as it is now. So we're playing. Look at our next home game, Maidstone, another difficult. Another team who are up there. Thumped Worthing at the weekend. So we've not had a run of games against sides.
My problem is
in the lower half.
I feel like they're slowly starting to get into it.
I think you can bring the positives out of the moment, can't you? But if you look behind the
the manner of the defeat.
If you look behind the points and look a bit further, it is slightly worse.
Yeah, if you're following it on SofaScore, it's not disastrous.
Yeah, and we've been top for about a minute and 10 seconds this season.
I knew singing top of the league after we went 2-0 was a mistake. It was just tempting fate.
No, it was about a minute and a half later.
Do you know what? I ruined people more because my whole rant last week about 2-1, but boring people. You just like boring things and you vote 2-1 Torquay. Well, I put in the Talkie Talk WhatsApp group. As soon as we went 2-1, I was like, oh, that would please all those balls. Literally 2 minutes later, we're 3-2 down.
Yeah.
Even at 2-2,
I was bloody happy 2 minutes earlier.
A bit me at 2-2 went, so then we win 3-2. And then it's like 3-2 down. I was like, oh, shit. But,
the Torquay United roller coaster.
Bad habits, Simon. Bad habits.
Yeah.
Oh, dear. And
it was tempting fate. That was very Torquay, I think, wasn't it?
Oh yeah. 2 minutes. I didn't want to sing it, but it's been such a while. It's been such a long time. Just
nice we talked of it though.
Good old Torquay.
I was too busy getting in the dopamine because I got 2 laughing reactions to my message and WhatsApp. So then we're like, oh shit, it's 2-2. So I didn't even realise we were top at that point. So
Torquay United, top of the National League South for all of about 90 seconds. Drink it in.
Yeah, if you could bottle the whole Torquay experience in, that's 2 minutes, that would be it, wouldn't it?
Sam's body language right now sums it up.
Yeah.
Hey, lads,
flying by 1 minute down to 6 the next.
Look at Scunthorpe though. That's what I'm saying. I'm not being like, oh, this is all okay. Look at Scunthorpe. I'm also saying, look at Scunthorpe. That could be us in a year or two, and Southend.
They got their Twitter back up now.
I don't know. Shocking.
Mental.
Absolutely.
So going on from Hansen's wonder goal against Ivybridge in the Cup, we go on to Richard Heason, who says, do you think the current squad we have now, regardless of injuries, is strong enough to be automatically promoted? And if not, where do you think we need to strengthen?
I think it should be, to be honest. But
fully fit.
We're not getting the most out of it.
Look at that. Captain Ryan Hansen's goal gives United the lead at the break. Look at that. Leadership as well. I'm having that as my screensaver. Get that on Twitter. Whatever's called now.
But it's
Triple X, isn't it?
It should be good enough to be right around there.
Are we saying we need 90 odd points to win the league?
But I
think 2 points a game is about right.
Did the squad do that? I'm not sure.
It will when the new Football Manager comes out and I'm in charge. You'll have that bloody youthful when I'm here, mate.
I mean, everybody's beating each other at the moment, aren't they? So I don't think it's going to be 100 points or anything like that.
I said 80 when we all did the video before the ball was kicked. Purely on that basis, I thought it was going to be quite a lot of teams are going to beat everyone else.
Which is what's happening at the moment, isn't it? Yeah. You would think the league will settle down. Some of these, your Averleys and your Tauntons will kind of slip away a bit as winter bites. But, Yeah. I mean, 2 points a game. I think he's always what you need to look for.
Love that Game of Thrones script.
So, yeah.
But nice. Yeah, you're right. What the question was now? Yeah, where do we? Yeah, it's defense, centre back, right back, isn't it?
Yeah. Yes, is the answer to the question, because we're going to score more goals than we have so far. I think we will score more goals because we've missed a lot of chances.
I'm going to say the strikers are going to score
a lot of chances.
Surely.
Yeah, Stobbs and people like that, Collins, they're missing chances, which when they start going in, we'll start scoring more.
And hopefully scoring the first goal as well would help.
Yeah.
You said,
yes, not continually chasing the game would help. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, now that Hansen's off the mark, watch us soar to the top and stay there.
Yeah.
Can you see?
But it could be, because when do we play Yeovil at home? It's like November, isn't it? Around then.
Yeah, 6 weeks.
6 weeks. It's all going to come together then. Jarvis will score a hat-trick. Ash will score a hat-trick. Marshall will score a couple. We'll smash them at play more.
And we'll lose 9-8. Still lose. Yeah, I was going to say still lose 9-8. 8 set pieces.
Oh, anything could happen in that one, couldn't it? These Yeovil games. We shall see.
Few more. Rachel says, with the rinse, repeat defensive fragilities, a hangover from last season, especially our weakness at set pieces and reliance on the keeper, is it a coaching issue or are the players to blame? Despite our performance,
we can't defend corners.
We are in contention unconvincingly, particularly away from.
We can't defend corners for some reason, can we? I was watching us against Chelmsford the other week. We didn't win one corner. We didn't head a corner away once. They seem to win.
I think
seems to happen with corners, Chris, doesn't it?
I was watching that as well. I think the problem is we've gone more zonal this season, haven't we? And I'm not a huge fan of zonal, because the problem with zonal, the idea is that when they come into your zones, you mark them. But the problem is with zonal marking, and it's always been the way, is that the opposition have the run on you. Because their logic says you're going that way, they're going that way. They've got the run on the momentum. So I don't think that helps, because I think it kind of man for man, you have man to man, I should say, you have a much better kind of responsibility kind of set as to who's doing what. Whereas kind of zonal, I'm not. I think the 6-yard box we mark zonally, and I don't know that is great, especially at our level.
Generally, the best defences have a big towering centre back who headers everything away in the middle, doesn't he? This is my ball. I'm going to be commanding that, and I just don't see it. We just seem to be struggling, as you say, and it's an issue, isn't it? At this level,
you've got a point to coach.
They'll set up for set pieces, won't they? They'll see our weaknesses. So
you've got a point to coaching at that point, don't you? As well as the players. I said my bit in the last episode about the players, but I expect better from them too. Really. A team, with Gary Johnson's experience and Aaron Downs, I just fell off the same sentence everyone says every week, but Aaron Downs, fantastic defender, player, and you expect at least the defence to be sorted. But
with the players and the quality that we should have in the squad, I do expect a lot better. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, no, it's not good enough.
And Zach says, where do you see the goals future realistically in terms of level, financials, and the future of the club with the debt?
Bleak. I mean, if we don't go up this season, I'd dread to think. Even if we do, it's not going to be in a good place, but it's not great, is it?
It's tough. It's tough to be a really bright future, isn't it? But that doesn't mean we're going to go down the pan necessarily.
No,
but
I mean, we're still...
My trouble is with these owners, you can't see any progress particularly. They're putting a bit of money in, trying to get Gary to take us back up. There's no plan in the future that takes us forward. I don't think the youth system isn't paying off. There's no an
official youth system either. I think the problem is, a lot of that was touched on when we had Nick from the Tust a few weeks ago, wasn't it? But it's really good episode if you haven't seen that. But I don't know, you're right. But then you've got a lot of these people coming in, like Scunthorpe and Southends and that, giving it all the talk, and then within a month or two later, they're telling their fans to F off and then ripping the club of assets. And at the end of the day, it's looking bleak, but it's still putting money in. We're still having a decent playing budget. I reckon Johnson will be on a good wage, I presume, Gary Johnson, a very experienced manager. They're still putting the money in at the end of the day.
Yeah.
I'm never sure what you can't about predicting the future, because it's about results, isn't it? But it's the obvious statement. Football's about results, isn't it? Football's about, if we go up this year, then the momentum of the club then is upwards again, and we go, we no doubt have a good crack at the National League again. But if we don't go up this year, the trajectory of the club will not look so good, because obviously, as the longer you're at this level, the harder it becomes. So
we have to get out. We have to go up this season. We have to.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I fear we're going to be here for the long run, and then any ambitions of being a football league club, let alone National League club, it looks difficult.
I think it's always Torquay there's always been a short-term plan. There's never been a long-term plan of how we tear it up and start again and then move up. It's always been that quick. We need to win straight away, which is fair enough. But at some point, you need to change things and plan for the future and try and work out how to become obviously you wanted a new ground and all that lot, didn't you? But at some point you've got to work out how you're going to build for the future, don't you? And that's what Exeter City did, of course. They had the money, didn't they, for the Man U games? They invested in the youth system. They used the community. Yeah. They built from there, haven't we? And we could only dream of something like that, unfortunately. But it's...
And you look at the supporters again, we must have had 300 at Hemel. Fantastic turnout, all things considered. We need to get out of this league. First time of asking, and again with the players we've got, we will.
Yes, because we're beating Ivy Bridge. Go on, Ryan Hansen.
Thank you. And it's back to the cup this weekend, so a nice little break from the league to hopefully have a nice.
Yes, I have to pay.
Enjoyable. That's a pain, isn't it?
I think after Hemel, I was like, I could have done with another league game on the Tuesday just to kind of get that out of the system and then go to the FA Cup.
You don't want to be testing supporters too much this season, do they? Because they will, speak with their feet eventually if you're going to keep on disappointing them. So we really need to get performance.
I was looking at this league. The structure of the league fixtures are bizarre, aren't they? And I get it because the FA Cup replays and stuff. But you have a lot of games early on. That first, what were we now? End of September, we played 10 games. There's now no league games midweek for 4 weeks because of the cup replays. And then October and November,
so it's chaos.
Quite a lot. It kicks off, doesn't it?
And then obviously you've got Christmas and obviously all the extra games around there. And
the rest
it's quiet again in January, then February it's busy. It's weird, isn't it? It's all kind of. It's probably because of the cup replays. You have to leave midweek free, but it's a bit odd. Well, so what we're going to do the weekend, lads? Are we winning?
They're playing.
Hope so.
They're playing tonight, Hungerford, aren't they? I think they're playing in the league game tonight. So,
are they? Are they? I bet Ryan Hansen hasn't scored for them.
They beat Chippenham 4-1 in the last round, didn't they, Tom? I think. So
they did.
A slight warning, isn't it? Just to take it seriously.
And
we're going to win 4-1.
That's your prediction.
4-1.
I'll say 2-0.
Yeah, I'll say 3-1.
Say 2-0, not 2-1, because I was to Muse.
Do you know what? I was thinking 2-0.
I mean, Jarvis and Ash have got to score at some point, haven't they? What is it, 3 games without either of them scoring? They must be. Somebody's got to do something on this one.
They must be hungry for goals.
Hey.
They're 1-0 up at the moment.
Yeah, right. Anyway, so I won't let it go like last week where we used to start looking at each other and going, but yes, thank you for joining us, everyone. Thanks.
Next we'll be happier when we've won in the cup. Maybe Ryan Hansen scored again in the league game.
Yeah,
in a cup game. Sorry,
he's doing a Jamie Vardy streak now. That's his first. That's the first one of 11.
Yeah.
I don't think we should be too down about one loss, should we? It's
the manner.
Yeah, win the next 2, we're all happier again, aren't we? So it turns, doesn't it?
Yes, because we're football fans and fickle.
And I think Gull'S Eye View has peaked with Ryan Hansen scoring whilst we're recording on air. I mean, wow. I mean,
we thought it peaked with
what I'm talking about.
What a moment! What a moment!
I generally just stopped and showed no reaction because I thought you were just stopping it because like your chicken was burning, your pie was burning.
No, my pie might burn in a minute though. So.
Oh, okay, yeah. We don't want that to happen again. Someone's have to do more editing again, like the other week. Right, so.
It's not the right setting this time, Swanee. You're all right.
Good. Right, so no one would have known if I hadn't brought it up. So there we go. So thank you for watching us, everyone, and hopefully we won't be really stupid and weak.
Hopefully Swanee will be a bit happier next week.
Yes. No more like sociology rants.
Nice sippy intro next week.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Yeah. Swanee, shall we, before we go into Burns crisp pie a bit more, should we quickly mention the Football Content Awards?
Yeah, so the podcast didn't get in, so I'm not bothered. So you got to do the rest because I don't write for
it. No need for that.
Yeah. So Talky Talk have been announced as one of the finalists for the Best in Non-League Editorial at this year's Football Contents Award, which is taking place at Anfield, up against some very good competition this year. But thank you, Yellow Army, for getting us to this stage. The whole of Talky Talk were all delighted, and fingers crossed we can bring home the W at Anfield in November.
That's the one for the advert with the kids.
Voting with
it means win. It means win.
The W.
The dub boss man.
Ooh.
Huge W.
Yeah, no idea what you're talking about. Move on.
We've posted it all on our social. It's all over our social media, Twitter.
Can
Facebook.
you put a link on YouTube, Sam?
I just want
put a link on this.
I want a video of Dom at Anfield going, "We've got the dub."
Please vote for us for Best in Non-League Editorial. Thank you so much for your support. It means a lot to everyone at Talky Talk. So please vote for us, and thank you very much, Yellow Army.
Here's Hargreaves, chance for Torquay. Chris Hargreaves, the captain. If he stays onside, Carlisle checks instead. He's looking for Benyon. Sells.